feel them dun, 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 dun.
Welcome into another episode of House Divided. Solo episode again. Joe's got to work. I do have his picks for the week, though, on the challenge that we announced on Instagram and on the last week's episode. Big week, I guess, last week for the NFL, for college. Hopefully you follow along with the picks. I think I was 9-1 last week. So it went pretty well. I didn't post anything about golf. I did have a few golf prop bets. They were just small unit plays, like quarter unit, things like that. Nothing too crazy. It was maybe like down like half a unit in that. But other than that, yeah, I guess we'll recap last week. I'll go over my picks. What did we have? We had UB plus 14. They were winning that whole game. And then just kind of choked late to Coastal, but Coastal was a better team. Just 14 points was kind of crazy. Let's see. What else did I have? Michigan minus 46. It's always scary to lay that like amount of points, but they covered it. They've been covering these big spreads. They're playing crap teams. If you want to do it again against UConn this week, they play NC State. I think it's 38 or 39, which I don't hate. NC State's not really the scoring type like Michigan is. Devin Leary's pretty good. They have a great defense, so I'd imagine it'll be like a 35-0 game. Maybe they get 42 and cover, but it'll be something like that if I had to guess. What was the other one? Tulane plus 15. I didn't get to watch that game. I was golfing, but it was pretty. Seemed like a pretty solid cover. I think they were getting 15 against K-State, and they won 17-10. K-State, that was a big choke spot. I know they're usually good at home, like I said last week, but I think Tulane's one of the better non-Power 5 teams, and K-State had Oklahoma this week. It was a classic letdown spot. UAB giving 11. That was a pretty easy cover. They won by like 20 or something. USC minus 12, destroyed. I think they won. Who did they play last week? No, Oregon State's this week. It was, I don't know why I can't remember. Let me see. It was the late game on Saturday. At Fresno State, it was 12. They won by 30. So that was a pretty easy cover. The only game I missed on last week was the Chiefs on Thursday night. 3.5 point spread. They won by 3, which was kind of annoying, but they were losing that whole game. They just came back at the end, won with that big pick 6 in the end zone, which sucks. Gerald Everett choked that. Packers minus 10. That was my game of the week last week. I had that and the Jets. Packers, Aaron Rodgers. Classic, same thing that happened last week. Busted week 1. Came back huge blowout week 2. The Bears stink. Think they won by 17. Jets plus 6.5 was my other one that I was pretty confident on. It didn't look great for a lot of the game, but they came back and won. They won the game, so you would have hit that money line. I did say on the show I was going to bet a money line too, so hopefully you got a little of that action. It was like plus 320, something like that. Jags plus 4. They shut out the Colts, beat them 24-0, which was pretty crazy. And then Eagles minus 2 to the Vikings. Classic Kirk Cousins primetime game. Just was absolutely terrible. Was lobbing balls up. Darius Slay could have had 6 interceptions in that game. Eagles looked dominant. So hopefully you follow along with those. Brett and Joe both started out 5-5, so not going to kill them. You just hate to have like a 2-8 week, 3-7 week in this challenge, which we definitely did have last year. But yeah, 9-1. I'll take that. Good start for week 1. And I'll post the records updated each week when they come out, and then I'll post the picks again this weekend and try and get some more posts of some of the like relevant weekly content too, just to the sports world. Let me see what I do have for this week. Oh, I saved it today. Here we go. So I'm going back on the USC train. They play Oregon State, who is a pretty good offense as well. Both the defenses are kind of weaker, but just classic Pac-12. This is a very public-heavy game, so I don't blame you if you don't love it. But 6.5 points, I think USC is just cooking right now. Caleb Williams, Jordan Addison, like I said last week, Travis Dye. Their offense is just money at this point. Cincinnati giving 16.5. I don't necessarily think Cincy is the best team this year. I believe they lost earlier in the year. Let me double check on that. They're 2-1. They play Indiana, who is 3-0, but I think absolutely is terrible. They should have lost to Illinois. They should have lost to Western Kentucky. They're just squeaking out these games. Cincinnati is a much, much better team. I just think this is a chance for Cincinnati to kind of show that there should be a ranked team. They lost to Arkansas. Yeah, that was week 1. That was their loss. But barely lost. And KJ Jefferson's been pretty dominant since then, destroying a lot of inferior opponents after that. But yeah, I think Indiana is not a 3-0 team. So that should be 17 points is a big spread, but nothing crazy. The other one that's a little bit public heavy is Baylor against Iowa State. Actually, this says Iowa State 70% public right now. They're Baylor's 17, but they're on the road. I just think their offense is great. I think that they win this game straight up, which, taking the 3 points, do a money line. It's for our challenge, so we always take the spread. But I'll take the 3 points all day in that one. I don't think Iowa State's very good. Let's see, who did they play earlier this year? Yeah, no one. They beat Iowa by 3, and Iowa showed that they can't score more than 10 points in a game. So, not really worried about this. I think Baylor's a much better team. I think they win pretty easily, to be honest. And then my last pick, UNC against Notre Dame. UNC's biggest problem is their defense. Their offense can score with anyone, and I really don't think, even with the bad defense of UNC, I don't think Notre Dame can put up more than I give them like 31 max in any game this year. Like, their offense is terrible. They have decent players. Matthew Mayer's like a good tight end. But yeah, if their quarterback situation is pretty messed up, but I don't think they're putting up that many points, and I think UNC could drop 40 on anyone, so I'll take that. I know the line opened at like UNC plus 2.5, 3, because it is, I believe, is it on the road? Let me check. Let me double check that. I want to say it's in South Bend. No, it's at home. Yeah, UNC easy in that one. And then the UCLA Colorado over. Colorado is not good, but, I think the total's 56. That should be a pretty high-scoring game. UCLA can score probably 40-ish on their own. Colorado just has to put up 20-ish less than that points. It's probably what it's going to be. I just think UCLA's got a great offense. Colorado's terrible. They could put up a lot of points. So I like that total. As far as the game tonight, I do like the Steelers. I just think it's going to be a super low-scoring game, so I would take the points either way. With it going to the Steelers, I'll take that. If the Browns were getting points, I would take it that way. But I will go with the Steelers. I do have a parlay on the game. It's like just a crazy parlay just to throw something, see if it sticks. I'll read it off to you guys. It is Steelers money line. Deontay over 6 catches. Like I said, it's going to be, I think, kind of a poor weather game. So I just think it's all going to be short stuff. Jacoby Brissett, 22 completions. They really live and die by the screen game. You could definitely see that last week. So I just figure it's going to be a lot of short stuff. Amari Cooper, 5 catches. Kareem Hunt, 3 catches. Deontay, 55 receiving yards. He just has to take a few that he breaks a little deeper. And then Freiermuth over 35 receiving yards. Going to be the safety valve for Mitch, and Pickett will play at some point. Maybe not tonight, but either way, he's going to be I don't think that's that many yards for him. But yeah, it's 10 to win 1,200, just a crazy like small unit parlay. And then for our picks, obviously have to go with a game. We go with the Thursday night game. So I've got the Steelers taking the points, like I mentioned earlier. The other games that I like are the Falcons getting 2 against the Seahawks. It's probably one that I'll bet straight up. The Falcons have been in both their games, played the Saints, played the Rams. Those are 2 pretty good teams, and they were in it till the last. They had lost the Rams by 3, had a crazy comeback, kind of choked against the Saints, but the Seahawks are much worse than either of them. I really don't see the offense getting going for them. It's going to be Kyle Pitts' week. Like, he needs to do something. They're going to try and bounce back. Cordero didn't have the best week last week. The defense is iffy, but, I mean, A.J. Terrell, Casey Hayward, if he plays, they can pick Geno off. It's Geno Smith we're talking about. Like, given 2, I'll take Mariota in that battle. We got the Texans giving 2.5. Or getting 2.5, against Chicago. I just don't think the Bears are good. Week 1 was a shitty weather game. The Texans have been in all their games against the Broncos, against the Colts, 2 theoretically better teams than the Bears. The Bears are really going to try and run it. I mean, the Broncos and the Colts both have good running backs. The Texans held them. I mean, Jonathan Taylor had like 130, but that was on a lot of carries. But they held them relatively in check. Be a younger quarterback. Derek Stingley's played very well. Some of the other D-backs have played pretty good. So I'll take the Texans probably straight up in that one, but 2.5 points. The heaviest public bet I have is the Eagles giving 6.5 at Washington. This is just I'm just kind of doubling down on the Eagles till they show me I shouldn't bet on them. Jalen Hurts has been on fire. The defense was on fire. Carson Wentz is mistake prone. And then if they get down early, which I think they will, they're going to have to fight back, and that's where some of these Eagles D-backs can make a play. James Bradbury, Darius Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, some of these guys. So I like the Eagles giving points there. That could be a bloodbath if the Commanders can't make a comeback. And then the Monday night game, Dallas getting a point. I don't necessarily love betting on Cooper Rush, but the Giants have played terrible teams, terrible defenses. They're just kind of, I wouldn't say getting lucky. They're doing what they got to do. But the Cowboys have a very good defense. Giants' offensive line has looked bad. Evan Neal has not looked great. Dallas has great pass rushers, I wouldn't say great overall D-backs, but playmaking D-backs, where Daniel Jones is putting a throw behind or leaving it short. They're making a play on that ball. I expect it to be a big, like, Danny Dimes back to earth turnover game, some fumbles, some picks. So I just think Dallas's defense gets it done in that one. And they're getting a point too. The Giants going 3-0 would just be sickening to me, so it's a little bit of a heart pick as well. But yeah, that's kind of what I got going right now. Let me get Joe's picks, and then we will get it over to Dan and Steve for the NASCAR segment, and then we will end it with the Instagram. I put up a post on Instagram today to see what your guys' best bets are and kind of go over those, see if I like them, see if I don't like them, nitpick, do whatever. But I'll give you Joe's first. He has Steelers tonight. He also has UNC and USC on Saturday. He's going with A&M laying 2. Who are they playing? See if I like that or not. A&M laying 2 against Arkansas. I like Arkansas. I don't know about this game. I just like KJ Jefferson. That should be a very good game. I wouldn't touch it. App State -7 seems like a trap. Let's see who they play. App State is one of those teams that now that they've made a little noise, it seems like it's going to be a heavy public team, and I don't love that. JMU's scary. They played no one, but they're putting up a crap load of points. It is their first year as a football team, I think, so they could run into a wall here. That could be a blowout, actually. I don't hate it. Chiefs giving 5.5 against the Colts. That's the most rat line ever. The Colts have looked god awful, so a little nervous about that. Ravens giving 3 at the Pats. I looked at it. The Belichick stats at home getting points are nerve wracking. I'm not really sure what to make of that line either, so I kind of stayed away. Bengals giving 5 to the Jets. I don't like that. I mean, I'm a Jets fan. I like the Jets in that one, but it's also Burrow's going to blow up one of these games, have a huge game. Lyle Collins doesn't look like he's going to play. The Jets have a very good D-line, and their corners have been playing very well. The only way the Bengals cover that, I think, is Marcus Joyner's god-awful, so if they can attack like the deep ball, which they definitely can with T and Chase, they should be able to pull it off. Lions getting 6. I think they're playing Minnesota. The public's very heavy. It's just tough. After a Kirk primetime blow-up, it's kind of like he's not the most consistent guy. Like, everyone thinks the Vikings stink, just like everyone was betting the Vikings on Monday after he played great against the Packers. It's just a never-ending cycle with him, so I kind of like the Vikings in that one as well. The Lions come down to earth. Monday Night Football, he's going with the Cowboys as well. Not surprised, he's a Cowboys fan. But yeah, so we have the Monday and Thursday games same. Then only 2 college, all of our NFL different. And we will post, get those on the Instagram tomorrow, and I'll get Brett's up as well. They'll both be out of the country this weekend, so I'll try and keep some more content going in the Instagram while they're gone, but we will try and get that up. All right, let me send it over to Dan and Steve. You're going to have to bear with me for a second, and then we will be back to answer the Instagram questions. Give me 1 second.
Thanks, Niko. Steve and I are back once again for the next round of the NASCAR playoffs. We head to Texas this Sunday. So what are we? We're 3 races into the chase.
Yep.
Round 1 gone. We eliminated Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick, Kevin Harvick, and
Kyle Busch.
Big Kyle Busch. Big drama there on Saturday night.
RCR, past, present, and future.
All gone. And Kevin Harvick, who neither one of us, nor probably anyone, thought had a chance of winning the title, gone. In fact, I'm not surprised he was the last one to be gone. However, that said, his teammate, Chase Briscoe, still cruising into the round 12. So, interesting. But if I had to guess, out this round.
Absolutely.
So we're going to head to Texas. Last year's winner, Kyle Larson, who won about 10 races last year, he won Texas. We're heading to round 2 of the playoffs, the round of 12. So after this round, we are going to cut down to 8. We have Texas. We have, what's the other track?
Texas, Talladega, and the Roval.
Talladega, that's an anyone's bet race. Anything can happen there. And then we have the Roval, right?
Yes.
So that's a little bit more. You probably have about 3 or 4 favorites in that one. Otherwise, I don't think anyone has a chance at the Roval. But Talladega, long shot. So if you're really looking to lock up a good bet in the next 3 races, this race is probably one of the better ones, and probably the Roval is your best shot. People take long shots in Talladega. What happens? Either you get them, you don't get them.
Yep.
Anyone could win that one. So we have a lot of drivers. Right off the bat, Steve, who do you think? Now, I know you can bet some long shot things. You can bet who makes the next round, who gets cut from this round. So if you had to give me 2 people who you think are getting cut from this round, definite, who's your top 2?
I'm definitely going to have to go with Briscoe, one of them. I'm going to go with Blaney. Neither of them haven't been as consistent all year. Blaney was second in points, yes, but just couldn't capture the win. And he he was the winner of the All-Star race in Texas earlier this year, but I just don't see it.
I agree with you on Chase Briscoe. Gone. Ryan Blaney was close, but I kind of feel like Ryan Blaney is one of those guys where he didn't have a good regular season, but he's going to have a decent postseason.
Yeah.
I think he's going to make it to the next round. However, his teammate Austin Cindric gone.
I forgot about him.
He's gone. I think Trackhouse Racing's to get the double whammy. I don't feel like they're competing like they were at the beginning of the year. Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain. I feel like Ross Chastain may get a little bit of retaliation on him from everything that he's done at the Roval. I don't think it'll happen at Talladega.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll happen at Texas. But I think the Roval's a great racetrack for payback, bumping someone out of the way. So I'm going with those 4 out this round. I think that locks up a pretty solid top 4. All Hendrick, 2 Joe Gibbs, Ryan Blaney, and who's the Logano. So 2 Joe Gibbs, 2 Penske, and all 4 Hendrick. I think is going to make it.
I can see one of the Trackhouse cars making it over someone else. But
I don't think they're matching up right now. I don't think they're doing well.
What's his name got Chastain got the win at Talladega earlier this year, and they both have a road course win. So that's
Good. I do forget they do have a road course, but I think that payback's going to come in.
yeah.
All right, so let's move on to something more up close here. We got Texas this week. On Sunday, there's obviously, you have your favorites, you have your sleepers, and you're going to have the ones that you don't want to take part in. I'm going to go with some people that are falling back as ones, in my opinion, to stay away from. I'm staying away from Kyle Busch.
Yep.
I'm staying away from Denny Hamlin. And I'm staying away from, I hate to say it, Chase Elliott. I think those 3 are ones that you normally want to bet at a track like this, but I'm going to say you don't bet. And by the way, before we get too far, let's talk last week just for a quick second. You put your number 1 pick on William Byron, 3rd, right?
Yes.
I put mine on Christopher Bell, who was leading the entire race until a flat tire with 20 laps ago, 30 laps ago?
Yeah, you hate to see it.
So my bet was, and again, either you win or you don't win, but my bet was right there. I was like, oh shit, Steve and I are in the top 3 in the bets. Anything could go on, but it wasn't meant to be. On a personal note, I did bet the race, and I bet Chase Elliott and William Byron, and both got 2nd and 3rd. So I got the double on that one, but it is what it is. But yeah, let's go back to Texas. So if you had someone you say you don't want to go for this week, who do you think isn't going to do well?
Don't go for any Gibbs besides Bell and Hamlin. Because Hamlin does have the win at Texas in 2010, which is 2 generations of car ago, but in the playoffs he usually picks it up. But Bell is just fast everywhere, it seems. I definitely also say don't bet probably like Bowman or Byron. Texas is very okay to both of them, but their strengths don't really lie at the mile and a half. They're more road course, 2 mile, and short tracks.
I hear you. All right, so you got Steve's don't picks. You have my don't picks. Let's go into long shots. Who would you say is a guy that could have a decent shot at winning that normally you wouldn't suspect or has great odds? Like who do you think would be a long shot odd?
I definitely go with Reddick. Reddick is...
He needs to have a comeback race.
Yeah. He definitely needs it. He definitely deserves it. But definitely Reddick. What do you think?
Well, I'm going with 3. I think 3 good long shots. I think Alex Bowman, good long shot. Like you said, he's not great there, but he finds these races where all of a sudden he's right in the mix. Mm-hmm. And I think Alex Bowman could be a good one. I think he's going plus 3,000 right now on the bets. Kevin Harvick, I think, could have a rebound race. I have a weird suspicion that Kevin Harvick could have a win in the next 8 races when he's not in the playoffs.
The best average finishes at Texas, I looked up. Current drivers are Logano with a 14.0, Kyle Busch with a 10.9, and Harvick with a 9.2.
I think Kevin Harvick could be a decent long shot. He's going for plus 1,500 right now. But I think a big long shot is a guy who just won a couple weeks ago, Eric Jones, who I still think has some speed. He's going plus 10,000 right now. So if you really want to go with a long shot with a guy who has some momentum, it has eased up a little bit, but he is off of a fresh win just a couple weeks ago, I think Eric Jones could be a decent long shot.
That Petty GMS team has been fast all year, but extremely inconsistent. So if they can get that under control, then They could be championship contenders.
Who do you have for a long shot?
Uh,
Or did you already say it?
I think I already said it.
Did you already say it?
Reddick.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right, my bad. All right, so let's go into who we think is going to be. Let's do top 2. Give me one in the top 3, and then give me your winner. Give me someone who you think is going to be in the top 3, and then give me a winner.
Larson definitely is going to be in the top 3, but I'm going to have to go with Bell. Extremely consistent the last many weeks, and he's been fast everywhere.
It's true.
What do you think?
You're right with me here, Steve. my two bets were going to be Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell. I think Kyle Larson Kyle Larson's one of those who's going plus 600, so he's obviously listed as the favorite. But Kyle Larson's one of the guys you cannot bet against. I'm sorry. If you ever want to take a bet on someone who you think, Kyle Larson is the favorite right now. You just have, whether you're a Hendrick or Kyle Larson fan or a Chevy fan or you're not, it's one of those you just have to pick. Like, I know when to pick Denny Hamlin. I know when Denny Hamlin's on fire, or like Joey Logano. And I know these guys, I don't like them as drivers or as a NASCAR fan, but I know when they're good, and I know when they're on fire. And Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, I just don't think are there right now.
No.
But I do think Kyle Larson can win. I think he's on fire right now. He just came off of top 5, I think, this week. Did he finish top 5 or top 6?
He finished 5th.
5th, yeah. He was run up in the top 5 for a while. I think Texas is one of his favorite tracks. He won there last year. And Christopher Bell just has the momentum out of anyone in NASCAR right now. I'm also going to throw a third one in there. I think Ryan Blaney.
He could
Going plus 1,000 right now. I think Ryan Blaney could be... I may put him top 3. I think he could be a good top 3 winner. I also think he could be a decent winner. So I know if you guys do FanDuel, if you guys do DraftKings, I know they have some options out there where you can bet who you think is in the top 3. You can bet a driver for the top 3. I think Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, and Ryan Blaney are good bet top 3s. I think those guys will be in the top 3. One of them will be. However, I think Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson on top.
Absolutely.
Any last comments you got for this week?
Not really.
Do you have any favorites for championship right now?
Larson's been on fire. Bell could just steal one away in his fourth full-time year with no, he was rookie year in 2020. He ran the 95 in 2020.
No,
and then
his rookie year wasn't with Gibbs.
No, it was Levine family.
This is his second full year with Gibbs, though.
Yeah,
I can see it. I think the experience can kick in and it's going to outdo him.
We'll have to see. He was very consistent in Xfinity and trucks when he was making his way up.
You gotta understand. We don't know, but you gotta know that adrenaline and the stress that comes in when you hit to a final 3 races in the final. I think he's bound to make a mistake. He's gonna make that rookie mistake, which is expecting.
Yeah.
It's his second full year at Gibbs. It's expected.
Oh.
You always lose one before you get one.
Yeah.
That's just what Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, they've all been there and lost one, then go to win one.
Yep.
All right, so that's it for this round here. Steve and I and the Danny NASCAR set bringing NASCAR bets here to the House Divided show. Send it back to Niko and Joseph. Adios.
All right, welcome back. We are just going to quick go over the Instagram responses for bets of the week for everyone. We've got our first response was from the channel's very own Dave. We got Bills easily. Bills are going to skewer the fish. We did have another Bills -6. That's kind of a scary game. It's in Miami, and the AFC plays terribly in Miami, but the Bills look like the most dominant team in the league right now, unfortunately. So, I mean, if you just want to guess they're going to keep blowing people out, go for it. It scares me. I want to see how this plays out before I know how I feel about the Bills. They have good corners. The Dolphins do. The Bills are still without Trey White, so it's going to be Waddle and Hill running. I mean, go for it. I don't love it. We've got Raiders. I do like the Raiders, and they're giving 2 against Tennessee. Tennessee's got awful. I mean, they played the Giants lost, got smoked by the Bills. The Raiders desperately need a win. I mean, the Titans do as well, but I think the Raiders can stop the run enough with Henry unless he gets going. He hasn't been great this year. Devontae should be able to eat against the Titans defense. Renfro, Waller, if Renfro can play. I think that should be pretty easily Raiders, so I do like that one. We get Steelers money line. I have that in my parlay. I have the Steelers tonight. Don't hate the money line at all. Should be a very low scoring game. Like, I love the under tonight as well, under 38 or 38.5. So if you want to take the Steelers in the under, I would definitely go for that. And then it looks like we have one more. It is the Texans. So another one that I had chose as well for one of my picks. Like I mentioned earlier, the Texans have looked pretty good this year. They're playing. They're in all their games. Barely lost the Broncos late. Tied the Colts, 2 games they were supposed to lose by double digits. They play the Bears in Chicago. Bears have looked not good. Barely squeaked out the weather game against the Niners. Got smoked by the Packers. Bears shouldn't be giving points to many teams. I know the Texans aren't great, but Texans should be able to stop the run, stop Montgomery, Fields. Fields threw 10 passes last week. You're not going to win many games if you throw 10 passes a game. So he's either got to take a big step forward, or I think Texans win this game money line easy, 2.5. But yeah, that's it on the responses for the Instagram. I'll try and throw it up a little earlier next time. I know I did it at like 2, 3 p.m. I'll try and give it a full day. But yeah, that's it for this week. I will, like I said, I'll get some more of the old, like, last year's content up on the Instagram. I will get the picks posted for this weekend. I just got to get Brett's picks before he heads out of the country this weekend. But yeah, we'll get that posted probably tomorrow afternoon, and then I'll throw up stories live on Saturday when I place some more bets and picks. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated, and we will see you guys next Thursday. See ya.